Hello everybody, my name is Ilya.
And my name is Tyler. Together we make up kovray, a couple that loves to play board games.
And today, we're here to celebrate.
We're here to celebrate.
What are we celebrating?
We've hit a giant milestone for us. That being 5,000 subscribers.
High fives for 5,000.
Yeah.
Now, it's all thanks to each and every one of you
Exactly.
who tolerate us, who ask us difficult questions in the comments,
and who live, laugh, and love with us.
and get to share in all the joy of games.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you to every single one of you who has followed us, whether it's on YouTube or any of our other platforms, whether you're chatting on Discord, whether you're supporting our Patreon, whatever you do that supports us, thank you so much.
Yeah, we couldn't really keep doing this, and we wouldn't have kept doing this if it wasn't for you folks. So thank you so much, and I don't even know where to start.
Well, I think at first we'll do a little bit of a throwback. Because the reason we started this channel is because we loved teaching our friends games.
That's true.
And it was that spark in everybody's eyes that we saw when we showed them an Azul or a Just One. And then they're like, wait a minute, there's this whole world out there.
Where do I buy this game and how do I get it?
So that began a little spark for us.
It did,
because we wanted to reproduce that feeling on a mass scale. So anytime anybody comments on any of our teaching videos or any of our videos in general that says, I'm trying this game thanks to you, it genuinely means the world.
That is exactly what we chase when we make this type of content, and we're just here to have fun. We did this as a passion. We keep doing this as a passion project. It's led to a lot of amazing opportunities, a lot of new friendships and everything like that, but realistically, when I look back at it at least, it's one of those things that we started almost to like keep ourselves committed to a cause.
Yeah.
We are hobby jumpers. I still am, at least. I would consider myself a hobby jumper. And board games have been that consistent space for me. It's been very nice to like have that to lean on, and then also everything else that has fallen into place because of that.
Exactly. Well, to celebrate today, we are going to do a fun video. And that video is our most played games of all time.
Most played games of all time.
So we actually started tracking all of our plays through an Excel spreadsheet.
Yes.
Which right now is massive and takes a lot of upkeep. And then later we transitioned to BG Stats, but I'm stubborn and I still take all the information from BG Stats and put it into our big Excel spreadsheet.
Yes.
So we took a look at our Excel spreadsheet and
we found out these 10 games that we'll be talking to you about today. And first of all, I want to ask the question, are you surprised?
I am not.
Okay.
Are you?
I look at some of them and I feel like I shouldn't be surprised. I look at a couple others and I'm like, But I'll explain it when I get there. I think that's probably a better way to do it.
That sounds good. I wrote them all on a sticky note and we have them all in front of us, hence us looking in this direction. But I realized I forgot to write down how many plays we actually had of them.
How? Well,
oops.
You can go get them.
No, I think what I'll do instead is we'll redo this video when we hit 10,000 subscribers. And then we'll reveal the counts and we'll actually see if the list has changed.
Yes.
Because there is a possibility. There are some new contenders in this list that have surpassed some of our oldie but goodies.
Oldie but goodies, yeah.
So we'll do a full list of our top 10 play games with with total counts.
Yeah.
At 10,000 subscribers, if we ever get there.
If we get there.
Well, in no particular order, where do you want to start?
Over there.
First one.
The Crew! The Quest for Planet 9.
I love The Crew.
I really enjoy trick-taking games, so The Crew is definitely up there. Especially because it's co-op, so it's a nice little twist on the traditional game mechanic.
We've played this game, I think, at least 3 times all the way through. Because we played with different people. We had a sticky note that kept track of all of our plays.
I do remember that.
And all our cards in this game are also quite battered, so we definitely need to pick up a new copy.
We probably are at the point where a new copy is definitely needed, but it's also nostalgic to take it out.
That's true.
It's been a while since we played this one, so I think I'm a little surprised to see it on our list. But I will say this. The thing that we didn't take into consideration with this list is the time it takes to play the game.
That's true.
So if you're playing like a 10 to 20 minute game of The Crew and you manage to do that all evening for 3 hours, that's a lot of logged plays.
I will say, I think hours-wise, it's still content.
I still think it's still
content.
Yes, yeah.
But that's The Crew. If you enjoy trick-taking cooperative games with a little bit of a twist, that's a game that you might want to check out.
Mm-hmm.
Up next we have...
Let's do this one and then that one because it makes sense.
Okay.
All right. So the first one we'll talk about is Just One from Repo's production. This is a party game.
This is a party game.
Well, I would consider it a party game where one person is the guesser and they'll draw a card. Do not look at it. Do not look at it. And you'll say a number from 1 to 5. And that has a word on it.
Like mustard.
Yes. Everybody else at the table has to take their little whiteboard and write a word that would help you guess that word. And
yellow.
Yep, exactly. If you write the same word, guesser will close their eyes, everybody will share their words. If you write the same word as somebody, you're out. And you have to put those words down. Then the guesser guesses based on the words that are still present. If you get it right, you get a point, and you're working collectively, cooperatively, to score the most points.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of variations of this game that are competitive, but because this is cooperative, it makes it such a nice twist.
Yes.
And I remember when this came out, and one game of the year, but we also just kept playing it, and we still take it out to this day because it just feels good every single time. It's fun to be the guesser. It's fun to write down to see if your guesses cancel out.
It's stressful to be the guesser. The guesser is very stressful.
Everyone's like, it should be obvious. Like you look at the 4 clues and it's like, not.
Sure, maybe to you.
But this one has definitely hit our table quite a bit. And the markers in this one we've replaced already.
Yes, yeah. Actually, the one thing I'll add on top of The Crew, being like the number of plays depending on the game time, is that like we said at the very beginning, is we started doing this because we really enjoy teaching people games. We really like seeing that spark in their eye. And that evolved into like this catering of game nights. Just One fit perfectly into that space where it's like, let's warm up, let's like get a bit, let's get to know each other a bit more. No.
Oh.
No. No.
We're warming up.
Yeah. We could we're warming up, we're getting our minds flowing, we're gearing up for maybe a more intense game or something like that. Or maybe we have a bunch more people over. This plays up to 7. Realistically, you can play it with more people.
True.
You could find a way, and that's what's fantastic about Just One.
That is.
Yeah. And the reason I said that the next game should be talked about is because it's from the same folks.
Get out of here. This is Fun Facts, the best party game of all time.
Says who?
Me.
Oh.
And it's fact. It's objective fact.
It's a fun fact from Ilya.
That is the best game. Fun Facts is the best party game of all time simply because it's a game where you get to know your friends, but you're also competing to see how well you know your friends.
It is really fun.
And you may think, that's strange, how well you know your friends and also getting to know your friends, but you're doing this together, they contradict each other. They don't, because you can judge somebody by looking at them.
That's not what this game is about at all.
No, it's not. I'm just kidding. But there are cards where you have to take a guess, especially if you're playing with a stranger, of like, how afraid of spiders are you? I don't know you that well. Maybe I'm more fearful of spiders than you. We don't know. But generally the way this game works is there'll be a question, there'll be a prompt, everyone will write down the answer, which is a numerical value, and then you're trying one by one, collectively, face down, create an ascending line of numbers. So you'll be thinking of how many rooms are in your house. Well, I think I have more than you, but maybe you think you have more than I do. I don't know. We'll try to figure it out.
I've never been in your house, so I have no clue where I stand on this thing, so I'll go right here.
Exactly. But the best part about this game is the conversations that follow each and every round. There's questions that is, how many years of your life would you give up to have the ability to teleport?
Yeah.
And that's a really interesting one. And you get talking about it. You hear about people's values, their beliefs, what they want to do, how they think. And I think that's really clever. But also, you're competing to get the most points, which is also really fun.
You're cooperating to get the most points.
Competing against the game.
Against the
which is
game, yes.
cooperating to get the most points.
Yeah. Yeah, this game is a lot of fun. It's a great icebreaker. And again, to the point that I was making about Just One, it's really easy to take this game out, warm up with a group of friends, and then like...
Let's get physical. Physical.
No, that's so bad. No. Anyways,
well, that's why I think when you say warm up.
You can cozy on in and just play this game in preparation for the next game, or maybe it's like a cool down session too. Who knows? That's
very true. And that's fun facts. Are you ready to proceed?
Correct.
The next game we have is heavy. Ugh. Gloomhaven.
Wow.
Now, this game has an extremely special place, I think, in both of our hearts.
Yeah.
Because we've been playing...
Mostly yours, I would say.
Not your heart?
I think more so in your heart
more
than
so
in
in my heart?
Yes.
Well, you know, again, with Tyler and I being hobby hoppers in general, it's not often we get to finish a legacy game.
Yes, that's true.
Especially a campaign game of this scale.
Mm-hmm.
So what's really neat is this was actually one of our...
I would say it was one of the first big box games that we had ever received.
Probably under 50.
Our first campaign game we had ever received.
Yeah, so I think we bought this probably before we had 50 board games.
When we were at our first apartment.
Yeah, so I think it was a very low amount of board games that we had. And we started, and we played this probably 2 years before the pandemic. And then we played it through the pandemic. Yeah. With Zoom cameras. 3 years? 2 years, yeah. 2 years sounds right. Then we zoomed, we sent our friend the little box. She got the box, and then we zoomed, and she would pick cards and send us messages, and we'd be on camera. Mm-hmm. And then we ended up actually finishing this game a year or so ago.
Yes, it took us a long time to get through it. That's for
well,
sure.
There's a lot of missions.
Yeah, we went through almost everything.
We went through almost everything. We did a ton of side quests. We played every character but one. Mm-hmm. And we did not quite uncover the mystery of the envelope.
We're not going to spoil anything anyways.
No,
so
we're not.
We're just going to leave it at that.
But this is a fantastic cooperative dungeon crawler. It's very uniquely done through the playment of cards. So many of these scenarios we won by one move, and that feeling is just so magical. And the fact that it happens so many times.
Yeah,
mwah.
The game feels very tight. Very at the end, you question whether or not you're going to win, and then you pull something together, and it works out. It feels fantastic, and all the characters just like they're so unique in their own different ways. You can kind of like stylize them to the way that you want to play and everything as well. So I can kind of appreciate that from somebody who really would like to be into like the D&D stuff. But I honestly don't have enough time for everything else that I do and board games to like dedicate to that. This is a great, in my opinion, substitute because it does a bit of the work for you and then streamlines it. So you don't have to always be like creative, because I'm always envious of the D&D folks or the role-playing folks, I should say, that are like very quick on their feet and amazing at coming up with like ways to get things done.
And that is Gloomhaven. On to Frosthaven, I guess.
Yeah, that's a beast of a game. I see 2 more.
Okay.
I see 2 more that are matching.
Okay.
So maybe we should do those.
Let's start off with
Calico from Flat Out Games, the cozy tile laying cat quilting game.
That's what it is.
That's really what it is.
You place a tile, and then you get a button or a cat, or neither.
Or neither. Yeah.
And then you keep
going. You're going for your goals. That actually is what it basically is. It's a tile drafting game where you're going to be placing tiles onto your board, building a quilt, trying to go for goals, buttons, and inviting cats to your quilt.
Exactly.
This is a brain burner. That's what I will say. I've thoroughly enjoyed playing their games. I think it's still like out of the 4, I guess, that this would be probably my favorite.
Your favorite?
One of my well, I don't know. It's that or Cascadia. It's very tough for me. But
I like this more than Cascadia.
I have more nostalgia with this though, of course, because
it's the OG.
It's a bit older. Yeah, and I would say it's the OG. It's fantastic.
Yeah, I think I have never selected a favorite game, as many of you know, because Tyler's is Paladins of the West Kingdom, and everyone always asks me what mine is, and I don't have one. But I will say this would be a contender for my favorite game.
Yeah.
There's just so much to love about it, and it has never done me wrong, and I love showing it to people because at the beginning everyone's just like, la la la, this is so nice, I got the button here, I got a cat here, and then fast forward 30 minutes, you look at everybody's faces and everyone just has veins. They're so stressed because the last few tiles, they just break your soul, or sometimes they're the perfect tile, and it feels so good, and I hope that more Calico is on its way.
I think it is. This is a game that we very often, after we play Just Wonder Fun Facts, we'll be like, this is what we would recommend you try.
Yeah.
And then we play that with our friends or our friends that maybe haven't played a whole lot of board games. This is like a great game. I don't want to call it a gateway game, but it is a perfect game, an introduction game.
It shows you quite a bit of like, these are goals and you can have a game. This is how tile placement works. This is how drafting works.
Yeah.
Quite a bit.
Yep. And just like the fact that we like teaching games is that this one can be taught very, very quickly. And it keeps, in that sense, it's like you don't lose people's interest before you get started.
And that is Calico, the lovely, lovely, cozy tile placement game.
Speaking of tile placement games and matching with Calico, we have Fit to Print.
A newer game.
Another flat out game, but a newer game.
It is a flat out game.
So this one, you're building a newspaper, and it's really exciting. It's a real-time game, which we always preface with, it doesn't actually feel that bad once you get going. 4 minutes is a lot of time.
It's not that bad, we promise.
Come play this game with us.
I will say this has been our new transition game. I think we've been showing this game to pretty much everybody that we typically play games with, because it has a lot of game that you can actually play in about 20 minutes.
Well, it's a real-time game.
Because it's a real-time game. So you force that element of crunchiness, and the rest is the administration and the point tabulation. But it's really fun because there's two phases in this game. One, where you're grabbing a bunch of articles that are face down, checking them over your newspaper, committing to them potentially by placing them on your table. And then once you think you have enough, you say, layout. And then you begin laying out all the tiles you've collected. Now, like tiles can't touch. They have to be right side up. There's rule placements. The way that you place them will score you additional points. So there's a little bit of a clever strategy of how you actually assemble your newspaper. And the newspaper gets bigger over the 3 days. So it's a lot of fun. It tests your speed skills a little bit, but it's not that bad.
It's not that bad. 4 minutes is a lot of time to get things done. I think one of the things I noticed when we first started playing this with people is that 4 minutes doesn't sound like a lot of time, and then they would say layout, and they'd still actually have 3 minutes left. They just mad frenzy grab some things. So it is a bit of a learning curve in that sense, but that's great because you have 3 rounds to do all of this, and then you can learn as you go and adjust as you go, adapt, and yeah.
And it plays up to 6.
It plays up to 6.
Which is
That's
fantastic.
a huge thing for us.
You have a nice round table. You put a little bit of side of pretzels. Can't even get to the pretzels because you're too busy having fun playing Fit to Print.
Yeah. That.
And that's Fit to Print, baby. Let's go.
We have 4 more games left to talk about. 4 more games. Which one do you want to go with next?
I want to talk about another classic to us. Which is Sushi Go Party. Now, this is a game...
Or just Sushi Go. We have the...
No, Sushi Go Party, which is what this is.
Yes, because it has a bunch of different add-ins.
Yes.
Yeah.
And this is the one we've played all these times.
That's true. We went right for it, not the base.
I don't think I've actually ever played the base.
The base is in here.
Oh. Well, in Sushi Go Party, you're essentially drafting cards. So you have a bunch of cards in your hand. You'll pick one, you'll pass the rest. And based on what you've collected for your delicious meal, you'll score points. Now, there's ways that cards will score at the very end of the game. It's played in 3 rounds. There's cards that will score in sets and pairs. There's potentially negative points that you'll get if you collect something.
Yes.
But this game is fantastic to teach drafting. And it's a lot of fun because you are always doing something. You're always deciding what to do. And just the thematicness and the cuteness of the sushi.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, I will say this and Fit to Print, they're like simultaneous play. So they've got that going for it. And it feels very, very smooth. Everybody feels always engaged. So I think that speaks a volume to a lot of the games that we've talked about today. Sushi Go is just another one of those ones that, again, like Ilya said, it's quick. The variability in this is very interesting, and you've kind of like got to make these key decisions that you know everybody else will be making with the same information. So
exactly. Sushi Go party. So fun. Well, speaking of
classics, let's talk about this one.
Oh, that was not the transition I was going to take, but okay.
Azul.
How can you not love Azul?
That is very true. I'm not good at it, but I will play this game no matter what, essentially. It's easy. It's this abstract strategy game where you're just drafting tiles. You're taking the exact same color, putting them into your board, and strategically planning to like move them over into your like locked zone so that you can score yourself points. I love the way that you score in this game. I love the way that the game ends. There's a lot of different opportunities to just, I guess, like utilize everything on your board, but you want to be very, very, very cautious because you can create combos that feel fantastic.
Yeah, this is a very commonplace game now. I feel most people, I hope Azul is getting as close as a popularity as Catan is. And they did actually have a world championship for Azul this year.
Yes, I remember
which
that.
was very cool. I think beyond like the tactile feel of the game and how fun it is, I feel like everyone we've shown this game has absolutely loved it.
Yes.
And I have a particular fond memory of my mother playing Azul, getting stomped the first game.
Yeah.
And then we're going to move on to a different game. And then she looked up and she's like,
no.
Again.
Yeah.
And she's like, this time I win. And Tyler like, oh, ha ha ha, funny. Okay, let's play. And then we played. And she crushed us.
She got over 100.
She got over I think 90 something.
Close to 100.
But she got like she was like 30 points ahead of all of us.
Yeah.
So she said it, she committed to it, and I'm sure I've told this story before. But it makes me happy that there's moments like that can surface out of game experiences too.
Yes, and Azul happens to be one of those.
Exactly.
Which we played with lots of folks.
Yeah.
Anyways.
We recently showed it to a couple too who got their own copy and has been playing it nonstop. And that makes our hearts very happy.
That's what we do it for.
That's what we do it for.
So that's Azul. We can move on to the next one.
The next one, to no surprise, is...
To no surprise, I suppose.
Are you surprised?
This is the one I'm least surprised by, actually.
It is?
I think so.
This one's the one you're least surprised by?
Yeah.
Alright, that's okay.
I'd say so. Yeah.
Well, Wingspan has taken the world by storm. And it has taken us by storm.
But
But there's no storms here because all there is cute bird sanctuaries where we get to learn bird facts and build an engine that scores a ton of points.
They're not always cute. They're kind of predatory. But
all birds are cute.
Birds are awesome.
There are.
Yes. I think what this game did was just like turn board games on top of I don't know, maybe because we were just entering this space when this game was becoming quite popular. Well, before, I guess, kind of before.
Right before.
This game was so different in the sense that like it's themed around birds. That was like the big flag for me. I was like, whoa, a game themed around birds? That seems odd. But I should not have judged a book by its cover or a bird by its feathers. So when we played this, absolutely fell in love. It hit all the itches that I was looking for. It was easy to play, easy to learn, especially with that guide that they provide. And it just like kind of escalated from there. I was really interested in showing all these people. There's a bunch of expansions that started coming out. And it just hit good spots.
It did. And I think you're absolutely right. I do think this game revolutionized the way our hobby is because it did it showcased that a theme that is different than what exists, which is typically war and a little bit of colonization, and then trading and merchant type of stuff.
Yes.
Which was the vast majority of the hobby, and it still is. But new themes like this can have its place, and they welcome significantly more people into the hobby as well, because that's what this game has done. It's really opened its eyes to the hobbies to many other people, and now we see a lot of wacky themes out there, which is really fun.
Yes, yeah. I think it was just a matter of time before something like that happened. It is very exciting that Wingspan was part of that. I just like I said, it's a really fun game. I've enjoyed showing literally everybody.
Literally.
And they've, for the most part, I would say, also tagged along with the Wingspan. Yeah!
Yeah! And you get to learn about birds. There's fun little bird facts. It's beautifully done. The illustrations are fantastic. The production quality in this game. It is really just some mwah of a board game.
Yes, yeah. And it took like a very complex mechanic and made it more invitational to a broader audience.
Yay, approachability.
Yeah.
That's Wingspan.
Take it over there.
Now, last but certainly not least on our list is another one of my favorites, which is Space Base.
Yes.
So as you may have been able to tell, a lot of these games are the games that we use to show people. Hence why we have played them the most amount of times in our collection.
Yeah.
And Space Base is one of my favorite games to show somebody who's never played it. Particularly, and I'll say some of my judgment here, it took me a while to play Space Base, simply for the way that it looked. I did not want to go to space. I feel like space games and I just don't jive that well, except for when I play them and I realize they're really fun and want to play them. But based on the cover, based on the theme, I'm like, I don't really want to play this.
Yep.
And then I played Space Base. And boy, oh boy, did I enjoy this game. The whole premise is you're building up a fleet of ships that will go out and build your space base. Now, the way the game will works is every turn you'll roll dice and you'll potentially acquire credits, which you can use to get more ships. But as you get more ships, ships are sent off.
The combos become more.
And each of the ships is based on a die value that is rolled. Yes. So you can really hone in on one number, like a 7, for example, and get a lot anytime a 7 is rolled, whether it's your turn or somebody else's.
Yes.
Which I think is the best part of this game, is you're engaged and every dice roll feels like the most exciting dice roll there can be. I can't tell you the amount of times that I've built strategies around an 11 being rolled, and then an 11 got rolled 3 times in a row. And it was just the happiest moment. Everyone's outraged. Everyone's quoting their statistics that 7s should be rolled more than 11s. But 11s were rolled. And guess who won? This guy. But generally, this is also the big box. There's a way smaller box that's the general game. Yes. There's expansions in this game, like Tyler said, for Wingspan. And there's just so much to love. And it is still one of the games that we continue to show to this day to people who have not played Space Base.
This plays really high, like the player count. It says 2 to 7 on this box, but I believe base is like 2 to 5, maybe 2 to 6.
No, 2 to 4, 2 to 5.
Yeah, but regardless of that, it's amazing to see that like, not all games need to be about strategy. And although that there are key strategy decisions that you need to make in this, at the end of the day, it comes down to dice rolls. And we know that the odds are going to produce some kind of number that is on your board, and it'll have a payoff. Sometimes it's not 7, which statistically speaking, it most often should be, but they've obviously done some balancing where the 7s don't get as much because they're more common, and then the 12s get more. Ones can't even be rolled, or I guess ones could be rolled because you can separate them. Yeah. But I'm going on a tangent. My point is that you don't have to have, you can win this game just by playing it the way that you feel like playing it, I think. Exactly. I think there's a lot of fun combos that you can eventually get into, but hopping into it is just like, yeah, I would like to all in on 11s, and hopefully I get them. And then you get them and it feels fantastic. It's amazing. You'll want to play it again, and I think that's part of the joy of the Space Base.
Still don't love the space theme, but
that's fine.
To each their own.
Yes, exactly.
But that is Space Base. If you have not played it, I would highly recommend it, especially if you're like me.
I mean, to be fair, all of these games we would highly recommend, obviously, because I will say that majority of them, actually all of them, are games that we often we'll take out when we're having new friends over, when we're having friends over, like a larger group of friends. These games fit very well with the type of games that we like to try and use to pull people into the hobby, I would say.
Hence, them being our most played games. So thank you so much for watching our most played games of all time video. And thank you so much for supporting us.
Yes.
If you're new to our channel, hello.
Hi.
Welcome.
Go back to the beginning. My name is Tyler.
Why did you skip through all of this to get to here? No, but if you want to support us further, please join our Discord. It's free. There's tons of fun little conversations and channels that we discuss. And we love our community over there.
Yes.
And if you want to support us further, we also do have a Patreon page so you can check out. Just hit that link below. We do monthly vlog type videos.
One-shot updates.
A little bit of unhinged updates.
Yes, they're actually very fun to film.
So
yeah, we kind of just like go off the.
We turn the camera on and we don't edit, so it's the raw Ilya and Tyler that you get.
Yes, I mean for the most part that's what you get here, but you know sometimes there's got to be more cuts and making of the content.
The making of the content.
Yes.
But you can also check out all of our social medias. You can do all those things. We always love hearing from you. So if we've inspired you to play a game, help us celebrate by writing a memory down below of your favorite gaming experience, especially if we were involved.
Ooh, that would be amazing.
Or just tell us about your favorite gaming experience, because we would love to hear your passion, your spark, and your joy for board games.
Yeah. Other than that, we enjoy a variety of different games outside of some of the games that we've touched on today. I think that this is just like a surface level scratch of the games that we play, but you'll see that on our channel. If you want to check out more, feel free to go look at some of our older videos.
Exactly.
And stick around. Subscribe if you're new here, like this video, do all those amazing things to keep that train rolling.
The kovray train?
Exactly. But I don't have anything else. Do you?
I do not. Maybe we'll do a Lego. Is Lego a game?
Lego is not a game, but I
It's an
love
experience.
Lego is an experience.
Yeah. Well, last but not least, if you have ideas or content that you'd like us to see,
us to see. We also
us to
watch
make
content, yeah.
Or us to make or see, I guess. Let us know what our next video should be. And stay tuned for all the fun that is to come.
Yes. At this point, we were rambling, though, so we will see you in the next one.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.